just fucking obliviating. Or, what the fuck is that word? Not obliviate, it's, oh, fuck it, I don't know. Bloviating. I'm just bloviating at you all right now. What I want to do is I want to pull up a thread. And Lore wrote this post about, and he basically created a dichotomy between World of Warcraft players. And anybody remember in 2000, the election, remember John Kerry running against 2004 probably? It was 2004. It was John Kerry running against George Bush, and John Edwards was the vice presidential candidate. And those two guys, they constantly brought up this theme in politics called class warfare, in which there's a dichotomy between the upper class and the lower classes, and the middle class is getting pushed out. And basically, that's what Lore did when in this post. It reminded me of that. He said that there's well, he didn't say it, but that's what I'm feeling. That there's elite players in World of Warcraft and there's casual players. And he said Blizzard employees have to choose between, do we want to give the elite players something good, or do we want to give the casual players? And I don't think that needs to be the case. I think you can create a universal World of Warcraft PvP design system that enfranchises both the casual and the elite player. If only you had a fucking brain. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna link that thread. I'll show you guys the thread, and you guys let me know what you think. Okay, here we go. I found it. Let me just turn that on for you guys. And there it is. Okay, here we go. And hold on, let me put my beautiful, handsome face back on the screen, because it's important. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got a thread here, and rightfully so, right? As many of you know, the please link in Twitch. Sure, why not? As many of you know, there are certain pieces of gear and sockets, and I'll give you guys an example right here. One of my main team players, Lacero, great DK, rank 1 player. Look at this, lucky bastard! Look what he got. He's got mastery, 150 mastery plus, 2 trinkets, and a helm. Or, what's his name? Yosk on Hunter. He's got some stuff too. I think this is his name. Or sorry, his warrior. His alt. Yosk's alt warrior. He's got a Warforged chest, a ring with a socket, a weapon with a socket, a Warforged neck. I mean, come on, man. Now, how the hell did these guys get things? Is it because they're necessarily better at PvP than anybody else? They're more deserving? Is it a meritocracy? No. Although that's how I think it should be based on. If you're better at something, you should be more rewarded. Or if you spend more time at something, you should be more rewarded. But no. It's completely RNG. It's random. You get lucky, and you pick up a drop box after winning a random battleground or an Ashran event, and it fucking just falls out of the sky. Now, I've done a lot of battlegrounds. I've won a shit ton of them. And I leveled up entirely through the random battleground process. And I only got my first one today. But some assholes have multiple pieces. I fucking hate it. So this guy brings up a thread, and I actually didn't read the OP, but I can just guess what he's saying. He's saying, it's not fair. Why do we have gear based on RNG and random stuff? It should be based on something else. So let's go to the Blizzard post, in which we have Lore, the crazy-haired fuck, the curly-headed fucker, addressing this. All right, what do you got to say, Lore? Let's hear it. Okay, let's read for Lore. All right. Okay, so lots to cover here, and I don't have answers to every concern. And the first part is just absolute bloviating bullshit, but let's read it anyways. But I'll try to hit what I can. Let me start by saying that we are absolutely not ignoring or disregarding your feedback. I know that we've said that a lot, and I know that it's a hard line to believe when you're not seeing an immediate reaction or response to it. Truth is, we completely understand and even agree with a lot of the feedback we get. We just can't always immediately act on it. Sometimes change can't be hot fixed and have to wait for a patch. Sometimes the right... Okay, you know what? I'm sick of it. This is bullshit, all right? First paragraph, bullshit. It's just PR shit. It's just like, okay, we understand you. We're listening to you. Second paragraph, of course, sometimes we just disagree. It's important, I think, to draw a distinction between disagreed and disregarded. More bullshit. Every day we have debates and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about your stuff. We listen. Yeah, more fluff. Third paragraph, which brings me to the titular argument in this thread. Finally, he's getting to the fucking point before cutting the foreplay and the bullshit. That randomness in PvP gearing is inherently bad and should be removed entirely. And I guess I'll ask you a straw poll, and you guys can think after the fact on this for yourselves. We've talked about it a lot. It's been an almost daily topic of conversation here for months. We've argued back and forth. We've looked for every angle and perspective we can find. We've argued some more. And yes, we've experienced it ourselves in our own playtime. We disagree. Here's why. And you know what? I appreciate that he's doing this in the forums, because usually we don't get into the mind of the guys. We don't know what they're thinking. But he's giving us their thought process, and I'm telling you guys right now that it is a scary thought process, that it is stupid. It is not well thought out. And here's why. We'll see right now. Here we go. There are two main rewards for participating in rated PvP. One of those is obviously rating. The higher your rating, the better your rank on the ladder. And the better your cosmetic rewards are. Titles, achievements, etc. will be at the end of the season. For a lot of players, that's the real game. And gearing is just sort of this thing that you have to do for a while first. That's completely a valid way to enjoy the game. The other reward is the gear you earn via conquest points. For many players, PvP is about killing other players so you can get better loot. So you can kill other players harder. They don't particularly care about being the very best. They just want to have a fun time stomping on people. For this type of player, being geared is actually where the game ends. Once they can't possibly stomp any harder, the game starts to lose its appeal. This is a completely valid way to enjoy the game. Now, I have a problem with this second one. I agree with the first one, that we play this game for cosmetic reasons and as a, you know, for rating and stuff like that, sure. But the second one, do people really play that? Play the game to get better gear, and once they get their full gear, it ends and they stop killing? If so, why are we playing to people that stop when they get the gear? Because the overwhelming majority of a PvP season is spent at full gear. I would assume it takes what, like 2 months to get full gear at the most, and then the last season lasted 6 months, so that was only 1/3 of the season. So you're talking about a set of rules, a set of randomness that benefits people that go 33% into the season and then fucking quit. Why would you disenfranchise the 66% like that? It doesn't make sense. Anyways, continuing on. Our challenge then is finding a way to satisfy both types of players as much as possible, despite the fact that their opinions on what makes the game fun are often completely at odds with each other. So our goal with gearing and Warlords is to let people get enough gear to start pushing for rating relatively quickly, while still making sure that there was something left to earn once you're there. That's how we landed on the current system. A player wearing a full set of conquest gear they bought from a vendor is completely capable of earning Gladiator. It may not have your completely optimal stat distribution, but the difference is minor at most. But another way, if you're losing rating, is not because you have multi-strike instead of versatility on your bracers. Still, if you're the sort of player who's PvPing for the gear, it gives you something, at least some value to continue to earn. So why RNG and not, say, making versatility gear purchasable after hitting 27k? Simply put, we don't think that would actually feel any better for either type of player. It would make the gear grind longer for people who want to push rating, and the type of player who just wants to be able to smash people would lose on the chance to get a little bit ahead. On that being said, we agree that it's not ideal for the only methods of earning that gear to be Ashran or rated BGs. I can't make any promises, but we're looking for other options. Just keep in mind that we do want to keep an extra incentive to participate in RBGs or in Ashran. Holy shit. If you care about incentivization within rated battlegrounds and in Ashran, then learn how to incentivize things properly. Take an economics 101 course, dipshit. Their best incentive historically in the past few years was creating a 40-game win mount within rated battlegrounds and 100 games in 3v3 arena victory. Okay? We saw participation that season skyrocket. It was huge. Just because of that mount, I swear to God. Here's an idea that works. Why not have more cosmetic rewards like mounts? How about a cool mount every ward or sorry, every season for RBGs, just like you do in Arena. Maybe Ashran. Add extra achievements for Ashran wins. A special mount for Ashran. Holy shit, it's not rocket science. Give us more cosmetic rewards. Give us a temporary RBG title. We have Gladiator every season in Arena, and then we don't if we don't earn it the next season. What does that mean? That means we want to keep getting it. We want to keep competing. We want to hold it for the next season. RBG's Hero of the Alliance, boom, done. See ya. I'm going to go do PvE. I'm going to go pet battle. I'm going to go level. I'm going to go jerk off and watch the shitty True Detective Season 2. I'm going to do anything else but do the title that I already earned. All right? After that, that's the end game. And that's the casual people. So what do? You want to incentivize the system for the casual. But no. Instead, they disincentivize the system. They have an RBG MMR ceiling of 2,100. New people that enter the bracket, they can't hit 2,200. They can't hit 2,300. They can't hit 2,400. Those titles are impossible. Not to mention, you had 3 or 4 seasons in RBGs in which win trading was an epidemic. Russian win trade teams came over here and they hit 3,900 MMR, and you could just buy a carry for $50. You know? And so you got a bunch of people that cheated to get the title. Shit, you go in an LFG group and somebody links their achievement, you can't trust them. You got to check when they got their achievement. If they got their achievement a couple years ago, you don't know if it was a legitimate achievement or not. You have no fucking idea because they probably win traded. Well, thanks a lot, Blizzard. You know what they did? They fucked us even more. Last season, they cut MMR gains. They cut rating gains, rather. After 1,500, you gain like fucking 5 points a game. Holy shit, you know what you just did? No. You didn't stop carries. No, Blizzard, you didn't stop pilots. That's still going to continue because guess what? The majority of people that do pilots, how old are they? They're kids. They don't have real jobs. They play this game as a hobby. They live in the mother's basements. Okay? They don't give a fuck. They're going to do the carries whether it takes them days or hours. It doesn't matter. What you did is you fucked up the casual player. You screwed him out of his rating. You frustrated him. You made him go into shit LFGs to stick at 1,800 the entire season. You made the top-end titles inaccessible. There is no dream for them. They sit in mediocrity their entire existence. There is no upward mobility. For fuck's sake, you high school dropouts that work at Blizzard, grow a fucking brain and learn how to incentivize your game. You guys are ridiculous. You have a team that's 200-0 and everybody gets their ass kicked. Make charters. Make real incentives. Make a temporary RBG title. Give us more mounts. Fucking pet battles. Give us anything but what you have. Differentiate RBGs instead of homogenizing them to be exactly identical to Arena by making all the cooldowns the same shit. I enjoyed Cataclysm RBGs where you had heroism and battle reses and extra stuff like that because at least it felt different. At least it felt different. True Detective Season 2 is kind of shitty. Yeah. It's the casuals. It is. But you know what? It's not really benefiting the casuals. My system of design and PvP and incentivization would be more beneficial to the casuals than theirs because their design is so shitty in this game. It really is. Ghostcrawler has a PhD in marine science. No, we need somebody within the department that has a PhD in economics. And I can tell you from a top 4 college, the University of Chicago, the school that brought to you Milton Friedman and the entire classical school of economics, that I know a little bit about that. I can at least give you some basic things. All right? And there's ways to motivate people. And what Blizzard does not motivate people. In fact, it discourages them from playing the game. And it's sad.